Ready to start?
No, I'm never ready to
start. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Average Giants.
Hello!
Tonight we have John Warren joining us. Did I get that right? Jim Shepard. Jim Shepard.
Whoa, who now?
Oh, that's next hour.
We have Kurt Richards on right now.
Yeah, we have all the people.
With the game Sorry.
But Jim Shepard is showing us his game Dungeonmans tonight, which I'm going to be playing because I'm not 100% healthy.
You're playing this because you're better at these games than I am.
That too. Even while I'm
sick. Hey, look, you found a new academy.
I'm gonna. There we go.
So I see there's a lot of humor in this game, which is very, very delightful.
Wild continent, only known as...
Very cool, thank you. I've noticed I had you guys open in about 3 windows, so I was destroyed with a wall of sound. To correct that.
Like I said, we're always good at not starting a show right, and then it just kind of works out after a little while. Might be Giantia.
It's great, up on the shores of Might be Giantia.
Giantia.
Brought with him one thing, the iron spirit of the Dungeonmans. Oh, that's cool.
There's no greater force than the order of the Dungeonmans. Each one to tighten a monster.
Hey! Awesome.
Oh, I just lost my spot. An unparalleled treasure hunter, veteran of 1,000 battles here, one of the eldest and greatest of their champions, set out to spread the light of the Dungeonmans to a new land. The great hero set out to build a mighty Dungeonmans Academy, an institution of higher learning and martial training, one that would serve as a beacon of civilization to the terrified native villagers, cowering in fear from what terrors lurk outside their walls. The toil was not a small one, but eventually the Academy began to accept its first students, bright-eyed young hopefuls willing to take up the cause and bring war to those who prey upon the just. So begins the story of one young candidate, ready to embark on the rigorous years of study required to be a true Dungeonmans.
I noticed everybody likes to read like every word of that, and it leaves this ridiculous wall of text.
You have to.
I guess so.
Have you ever watched Outlast? Any Outlast Let's Plays?
No, I have not.
There is so much reading in that.
I need the face in there too.
Average Game Organ.
Gamorrean?
Game Morgan.
It's actually a Star Wars reference.
Yeah. Should have just been like Average Gungan.
Can I only has strength?
Strength! Wait, what do you got here?
There's no N now. It's just emph.
It's strength.
Oh, yeah.
Strength. That's the first part of saying it right. You'd run around talking about strength or something. The monsters are going to run over your ass, so don't do that.
I will show you my strength today. What do you want to be?
I'll probably be a fighter.
What's your favorite pick?
Recently, I've been trying to play a lot of Bannermans to make sure I get that right. It's interesting to me because it's got the most utility and sort of thoughtful skills. It doesn't have as much like get in and crush monsters as like the Fuminologist or the Fightermans does.
Fuminologist, that's amazing. Bannermans it is.
Oh, be careful. You're starting with the Bannermans. You gotta have your shit together. Man, the stream is paused for me. I'm trying to refresh it so I can see where you guys are.
Oh, sure thing.
It actually is paused. What the heck?
Mine is running okay on here. Oy vey.
Yay for science!
Once we make our character here, I would love to hear more of the premise behind Dungeonmans as well.
Yes. But, tell us about you, first of all. When did you start having fun with making games, if that's what it's called?
Oh. Well, I mean, the beginning of having fun with making games actually was taught in 3rd grade. I learned BASIC on an Apple II.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And I've been fiddling with game making since. But I wrote a lot of stuff as a kid. It was all crap. And it wasn't until 2004 when I got my first actual industry job. I worked at Raven Software in Madison, Wisconsin as a programmer.
Cool.
And so I've been to a few studios since then. Went from Raven. I worked at Surreal in Seattle, which was a Midway studio. I spent 2 years at Gearbox, and they were great. I worked for a time for Armature in Austin, and I also worked. My last big studio job was BioWare Austin, where I worked on Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Wow.
And that job, thank you. That job ended in 2012 because of the awesome layoffs that happened. And after that point, I decided I was going to try my hand at working independently and see what I could do.
Did we just find something special here?
No, it just went bloop. That's quite the resume.
And which is kind of funny because did you work with the? Do you know the guys from Stoke Studios?
Oh, you know what? I didn't meet. I think I met one of those guys once. We didn't work in the same team directly. There's a very big studio. So I didn't get a chance to really. But man, I certainly feel like I owe them all a beer just to, because their work is awesome and they've gone on through a lot of toil up against, massive multi-million-dollar corporations who want to steal their trade markets. They've really busted their asses on that game.
Yeah, we were chatting about that. We had them on the show here a couple of weeks back.
Yep. They were the one that sort of kicked off the whole indie game magazine and Hitbox collaboration. Was that?
Oh,
one?
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I be the most attractive man in the universe?
No, you have to be the most attractive male-female.
Sure.
There.
Average Gamorrean, level 1 lady Bannermans.
Yes, you're a lady Bannerman.
Is the game supposed to be on the stream now? Because all I see is a black screen.
Okay.
That's what we want you to see.
Yeah.
Did it crash earlier?
It did. Yeah, we had a little bit of a crash, so.
Oh no. Well, I mean, there's.
Should fix itself shortly.
There's only one crash.
Yeah, it's fine. This is what we deal with. We like to help out the the developers as well. So what was it like working with the big game like Star Wars?
Oh man, well, there were so many. The studio had hundreds of people, and so I got to meet some really awesome talent. I got to meet a lot of good friends. I've been a BioWare fan for a long time, and to work for that studio was something. I mean, even though it was BioWare Austin and it wasn't like the core Edmonton mothership, I got to meet a lot of people who worked on titles that I had just drooled over for the longest time. So, it was great. It was a lot of fun. The game came out pretty cool. I really like the Old Republic, and it was a good time.
Was the moving a little bit challenging for you?
The moving from place to place for the different studios?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look behind me, there's a whole bunch of shelves and shelves of board games, and there's more of those throughout the house. My girlfriend and I are collectors of board games and tabletop stuff and heavy-ass books. So each move could be an issue, but whatever. We actually live now in Baltimore, we're in Baltimore, Maryland, as the lady is working at ZeniMax on the Elder Scrolls Online. So we moved up here so she could work there, and so that was another move. And, who knows where we'll go next? Maybe they're making games on the moon.
It is an all-star relationship there, isn't it?
Well, I met her at Gearbox just about 6 years ago, and we had a good time. Yeah.
Perfect. That is awesome. So, when I see this game, I get a feel of a couple of games, sort of like as an inspiration. For one of them, it just reminds me, of course, a lot of like the old school RPGs from like Super Nintendo times. Then it also adds a sort of made me kind of feel like I was playing like a simplified version of Diablo in the sense of like graphics wise, but not of game content wise.
Sure.
And then a little bit of Rogue Legacy, just from the ability to have your ability to upgrade your everything, and you have the ability to what do you call the graduates? Is that what they are?
Right. Every character you roll is a graduate from the Dungeonmans Academy.
That's cool.
And there's only one at a time. So on your left, actually, as you were leaving that graveyard, you'll see. Well, that graveyard's empty now, but I mean, eventually it'll be just full of your adventures. So.
Yeah, your descendants. Is that descendants or just your previous mentors?
The graduates in that.
So, one of the big inspirations, I really love roguelikes. And this game actually started as a side project for me in 2007 when I was working late 2006, early 2007, and I wanted to learn C#. So I started fiddling around with something that was like this, and I wasn't working on anything role-playing based at my job at the time. And it just was something I'd done for fun for a long time. And then actually in 2009, I had the support of some friends at Gearbox who really liked it too, and we put together a little art jam where I bought them lots of beer and tacos, and they made sprites. And these are all older sprites. None of them you're not seeing them in the game now, but they were some of the first things that helped give the game a style. Mm-hmm. And in 2010 was the first time Dungeonmans was actually released into the wild. There was a version you could play that had just one big dungeon. It was 20 floors and 10 floors, and it was much simpler than this. But that was 2010, and I was contemplating working independently at the time, but it just wasn't the right time. It didn't feel like it was the right time, so I didn't do that yet. But yeah, the game's been around for a while. So actually, it's the Rogue Legacy comparison, of course, is flattering because that game's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was what are you guys doing? Was it hair grabbing?
Sorry, he was.
What are you doing?
Said, sorry, the average giant's in the same place.
Oh yeah.
Hi. I was just trying to freak people out.
Well, yeah. So it's really flattering to be compared to that game because it rules. But it's a little different. It's Rogue Legacy. That was the way you leveled. Like you would get coin from your adventure, spend it, get coin, spend it. That was the back and forth. And here, you're still leveling your hero while you play. You do start at level 1, and you power up, and you get gear, and all that stuff matters. But yeah, there's certainly a similar flavor. I hope that in the end, people will see the Academy to be this grow to be this big cool place, and they'll like seeing that, like they see the castle in Rogue Legacy as well.
So with so much experience in like a larger part of the industry, like with AAA games, that kind of thing, what made you, just because it's a side project, is that why you kind of wanted to go more indie with this, or?
Well, there were a number of reasons why I wanted to go independent, and I think primarily is that I felt like it was about time to be solely responsible for the success or failure of a project, or actually for the failure of a project. If I succeed, it's because of the support from the people, my contractors, my musician, Andrew, the artist, Jeremy, other guys. We succeed as a group, but if we fail, I'm the one who fucked up. And I actually like that because, as a lot of people who work at big studios can tell you, sometimes you'll see these layoffs where hundreds of people are let go through no fault of their own. Yep. And I needed to wear that on my own shoulders to test myself, and so that was really the motivation to go independent.
So I think your first success, besides creating the game, is your Kickstarter, which managed to get was it $43,000?
That's right. We asked for 35 and got 43.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you. It came out all right. It was a really intense month, and I knew there were some pitfalls going in. For instance, I knew that during that month, the Steam Summer Sale was happening, where I could expect $0 for that week. I mean, who's gonna pay money to kickstart a game when Gaben's selling games for 38 cents? Right?
Yeah.
But it still worked out. It was quite successful, and I'm very thankful. And it was great to be able to connect with so many people. I mean, obviously, their money is what made the game possible, but also just having new fans to talk to and get their feedback and go back and forth and talk about dungeons, which is quite nerdy, but I enjoy it. So, yeah, it was really an awesome experience.
Wiki.
So how's that Bannerman's going?
Interesting. I'm loving it. There is a whole lot of depth in this game. I haven't really been chatting because you guys are in an awesome conversation right now, but I like the in depth, like this one. People have probably been seeing I'm shooting like spears of light. The neat thing is that if I kill the creature when I'm standing next to it, after I've cast the spell, I actually get half my mana back. So you've got to really think about what you're doing with it. So I just leveled to level 2, and you can clearly see because your entire screen gets level up icons, and I love it.
Yeah,
it's very anime style. You have a level.
So do each one of these skills cost me 1 point?
Yeah, each one of those skills will cost you 1 point. So in your case, you can buy the next spear skill, or you can buy one of the 2 banners, or you could just pick up something else. If you wanted to, for instance, take an armor skill, you could do that. Or if you wanted to dabble in magic, you could do that too.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's no restrictions on what you can mix and match. Obviously, like, because you have a pole arm in your hands, you couldn't use like the sword and shield powers right now, right?
Yeah.
But you could learn them, and you could swap out your gear later if you wanted to. But you could take necromancy if you wanted and start messing with that. You took. You already have real. That's what you started.
Yeah,
with.
yeah, I already had that one. I just didn't see it earlier.
So when it comes to getting the different skill sets that you can potentially learn, are they less powerful based on the class that you choose?
No. So the version you're playing has all the classes unlocked, and in the real game,
you'll unlock them.
So 3 of the classes are locked at the beginning. The Necromancer, the Bannermans, and the Southern Gentlemans are locked, but everything else is open. Oh, you're going descending into the deepness. That's cool. I know the video's a little behind, but I
would die pretty quick. The first time I played this, I couldn't even kill the first guy.
Oh no,
it's not looking good for the average gamer.
But that's just because I suck at these games for some reason.
So
don't hesitate to use the stairs. Oh, you're poisoned? Oh no.
Yeah.
I think you better go back there, Jim. Oh no, you're dead.
It's rough. It's rough.
You're a little bit dead. Mostly dead.
Oh no! Oh, I thought I could get to the stairs.
And so
snap!
Dungeonmans has been vanquished.
Oh no. Yep.
So ends the journey of the average Gamorrean.
You were defeated by Zik. Whoa, I'm not.
He now claims the throne of this leaderless dungeon.
He's a Zik fuck cold hiss.
So that guy is now the dungeon boss.
Oh.
Yeah, you'll find him on the 3rd floor. Like if you get to the bottom of the dungeon and you haven't been killed, you'll find a default boss who rolls a name and whatever. But if you get killed by something, that becomes the boss of the Scrollworn. So if you go down there, you'll see that guy with his name. And if you continue to die down there, that dude will rack up, as his minions kill for him, he will rack up an impressive collection of Dungeonman skulls to kick around. So yeah.
Huh.
All right, what do we got here?
Oh, he is less than average.
Oh yeah, look at those stats.
Now I'm a little behind the video, but you can tell that guy he's not a Dungeonmans. You can pick the bottom one and reject him from the academy.
Oh really?
Yes, these are all terrible. Less than average Gamermans or Gamorrean is no Dungeonmans. And hit the road.
We're gonna be a Fumomancer, which I believe is wizard.
Yeah, if you want to start throwing fireballs, you want a Wizardmans.
Cool. This is really interesting. So, one thing we're checking out is the price point, and if people wanted to buy this game right now, could they?
So yes, they could. They could buy into early access this instant. Early access, the current price is $25, and it was just actually reduced to that this weekend. And the reason why it's $25 is because that's what Kickstarter beta backers had to pay to get their keys. So,
I see.
previously it was $40 because that was what the alpha backers had to pay to get their keys. And I didn't want to, those people were very good to me by backing me early on. I didn't want to devalue that by letting the key prices go lower than their backer prices until the next version was released.
Definitely.
So the final version of the game, I'm targeting $10. I think that'll be the price on the reel, which you can pre-order now if you want from Dungeonmans.com. But if you wanted to play this version, it's available. You can buy it right from the site. There's a Humble widget. You can pick it up, and then it's yours.
Cool.
And figured I'd just mention this. So today's a fairly prestigious day for you.
It is.
We just noticed that you have what is it? There's a light on. Is that what it is? There's a light. What is that thing? It's a steamy light. Is that what it's called?
The green light.
Oh, that's what it is. Steam green light. Oh.
Well, okay. Green light. I had a long green light campaign, and it was last month. In the middle of March, actually during Game Developers Conference, when I finally passed Greenlight and got the approval to appear on Steam. So the game's not on Steam yet. I'm hoping that'll happen in May. That's my target for that.
Oh, well, awesome. Still, congratulations on getting the
Thank you
Greenlight.
very much. It was quite a long road. I'll tell you, that I did not do the best job of launching the Greenlight campaign.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't. It was December 2012 when I launched the Greenlight campaign, and it didn't do that well.
So everybody was afraid of getting killed at that point.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't. It just didn't look good enough. I mean, I understand we all games are about the gameplay, not the graphics. I get it, but it needs to look at a certain level when it's going to be on that marketplace. So I learned from that. I took that experience and I said, okay, what do I need to fix? And I made the game better for the Kickstarter release, and it appeared to work. So actually, fumbling the launch of the Greenlight helped the Kickstarter succeed.
Oh, there you go.
Interesting.
Now, the one question I was wondering about the sprites is it going to be a static picture, or are you going to put in like actual animations?
Well, you can see them hopping around, right? Isn't that enough?
No, that's perfect. I'm fine with that.
I wrestled with this for a long time. If you play through Dungeonmans, you'll notice there are very few recolored sprites. There are some, but there are very few. The scroll bolts, for instance, each one is unique each type is unique. They all do different things, but they have their own sprite for it. And I had thought, well, if I want to animate stuff, then I'm going to have one hero sprite and a full set of animations. Or I could have lots of hero sprites, lots of monster sprites, and not animate them.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked the idea. Like I said before, I love tabletop games, Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, and I love the idea of everyone being in a cool pose, doing what they're doing, and looking smooth in that position. So to me, it's like moving tabletop miniatures around, and I know that doesn't do it for everybody, but that's the call I've made, and hopefully it's the right one. We'll see come ship time if that is received.
Well, we played a game, and we're friends with one developer.
Approaching Infinity?
Yeah, Approaching Infinity with Bob Saunders.
Bob, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good guy.
Yeah. And
he is awesome.
He might have been the one that introduced me to your game, but I don't remember. But anyways,
that's funny. So this is how Bob and I met. There's this dude, Brian Jeffers. He's like this evangelist for roguelikes. He's just this awesome guy he will find, if the two guys are talking about, turn-based tiles in the middle of a basement somewhere, somehow he knows. Like, he's got this crystal ball that detects roguelike thoughts around the world. And he will help anybody get the word out. He loves talking about roguelikes. And so he mentioned to me, hey, I know this guy Bob, and he's going to kickstart a space roguelike. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I thought I would look at it and just kind of be polite and give some feedback and whatever. And I actually got sucked into it. I played it for 3 hours. Whoops. It really got me. And I was very surprised by that. I was kind of expecting it not to. So I told Bob, I'm like, dude, you have something really cool here. This is a great loop for exploring and gathering in space. And his Kickstarter succeeded too. So he also is doing well.
Oh, I have to identify this.
That's awesome.
But I'm wearing a skirt.
Oh, look at that used caster skirt.
Right? I'm excited.
Hey, you put it on and took it off, and you didn't get cursed, so that's good. That's one way of identifying it.
Wow, so it is like classic D&D then.
So how many items are there in this game? Are they procedurally generated too?
Well, let's see. Okay, so there are, in terms of just basic armor, right? Right now, there's 4 pieces. 4 slots that are in the game now: the chest, the shoulders, the legs, and the boots. There are 3 tiers of those. So there's 12 for light, 12 for medium, 12 for heavy. So there's 36 just basic armors. And then they all have magic modifiers that can roll on them. Like Diablo, like you had said earlier, they can have things that appear on them when you pick them up.
So it's randomly generated then, the items?
It is. Well, there are some that are crafted by hand.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually... there are some rings that are unique. There are now some weapons that are unique, and they're making their way in. And but for the most part, most of the stuff you find is going to be procedurally generated. Yeah.
Cool. That's very cool.
And the names are the names set for the items too, or is that sort of like random as well?
The random part is the prefix and the suffix. So if you see burninating something or something like those are randomized, but the actual names and the flavor text are set from the beginning. Cool. So I notice you're playing a Wizardmans now, right?
Mm-hmm. Quite.
You don't have any of his wizard skills slot.
No, I do not. I was actually checking that out.
You may want to use Bolt of Foom. You may want to have that on the bar. You can also, if you want to use the keyboard, you just press S and it pulls up all your active skills, and you can pick from there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the game has full keyboard support as well. I mean, that's if you're a roguelike, a lot of roguelike players only want to use the keyboard. So, the mouse is there because people asked for it, but I mean, you can also play the whole thing just the keyboard.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was playing with the keyboard yesterday because I was doing this on my laptop just because I had to stay in my living room with my wife. But
cool.
I was playing on just the keyboard. It was fairly straightforward. I mean, I'd say with me, there was a couple things that I couldn't remember what to press. And then I realized that, like, for example, fighting, all you have to do is go up to the person and press in the direction that they are, and it'll start to, whoa.
Yeah, the bump combat is the term.
Yeah.
Oh, so I've noticed you put a light shield up, which is pretty good. That is...
It's because I believe in science.
No,
it is.
Shield will soak up some hits for you, and although it might be a little buggy right now, the idea is you can cast it again after you put it up and use it to create an explosion that'll knock things away from you.
Oh, cool.
But
So
I think the version you have, that doesn't quite work as well, so maybe you just want to put it on and leave it there until a monster breaks it.
yeah.
So I like that you try not to take this game seriously for certain things in the game, like
Right.
that light shield science-based stuff.
Yeah, the I think the tagline that was used earlier was that the gameplay is serious, but the game is not. I mean, obviously, I want it to be challenging and deep and fun.
Yeah,
But
Having a good sense of humor never hurt
it doesn't
nobody.
need to be really all about itself.
Then
The lore in Dungeonmans is there's so little, nothing gets forced down your throat. If you want to find stuff, it's there. You can read flavor text and you can see the names of dungeons and whatnot. But otherwise, I mean, we know why we're here. We're here to crush monsters and take their stuff.
I don't know why, but the way that it's presented, it kind of reminds me of like the Bard's Tale for PlayStation 2.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Sure. Oh, that's very nice of you to say.
So
Yeah.
I picked up a Prance Elf Limp Caster, which is like a staff, but
yeah.
it's kind of curvy on the top.
I'll get you guys.
I think that's more the limp part.
Yep.
Ed had once been able to cast Melf's flaccid arrow. Right. Yes.
Even that power is flooded.
So
okay.
that green,
snap.
like smokish that's coming out of that stuff. Does that mean that it has poison?
Magic weapon? No, it just means it's a magic weapon.
Oh, okay.
Every magic item will have a blue-greenish glow around it, which is how you know it's magic. And if you swap it out with your regular foom stick, I'm not sure why you would put the old one back on.
Well, my Foom, it kept saying that I couldn't use it because of my loadout, so I was wondering if that was because I had
really?
that. Yeah.
Oh no,
Oh, okay.
that's a bug because Bolt of Foom doesn't require any particular loadout. So
Oh, okay.
let me write that one down.
Not a problem. Good to find it. What should be the candidate? What does the chat want the candidate's next name to be?
Yes, that'll be the next question that we ask everybody: is what do you want the next candidate name to be?
Oh my God, Jazz Hands. Oh my God, it's Archer Jazz Hands. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's about mans in a dungeon. Mega
There.
Man's PhD.
But this is his PhD, you see. So what do we got?
And that's some terrible bullshit. I'm sorry about that Bolt of Foom being locked out. So I have a file. I don't have an account on this Hitbox site. I should on something in chat.
Not a problem. So skill, I'm assuming, is more for like a ranger.
Name him Krieger. Too late.
Skill is about accuracy for all your attacks. A ranger likes it the most, right? Because it makes your range attacks hit harder, but a high skill will make anybody's attacks hit more often.
Oh,
But yeah, a ranger man uses the most. Strength as a skill is actually good for everyone. It's your hit points as well as your physical damage. So even if you're a wizard, wizardmans, you still want it, right? Because it increases the amount of health you have, which is critical.
And
Who cares?
Mega Pie Man's PhD doesn't know what he is.
So he has his
Krieger will be
he
the
has
next
his
name.
doctorate in rangering.
he does.
Hello, I'm
As you
Dr.
say,
Ranger.
Headmaster. First, we must give homage to those that have come before us.
By laughing at them and peeing on the graves.
Why are you guys so bad? Okay, let's go.
I shall vanquish the foes.
So maybe, would you mind giving us a quick rundown of the stats that are available to each character?
Absolutely,
stats.
I'd be happy to.
Oh.
Just a second.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, and I need to do
Describe the
this.
academy tax.
Quick
Am I logged in now? I think I'm logged in now on your crazy, wild hitbox site. All right.
Well, say hi and we'll see what happens. Crazy hitbox site. It's the best site.
Get off my cursor!
It is the best site. Okay, so I just linked in chat a spreadsheet which is public that I'm keeping to show all the different issues that are tracking in the game. So this is actually part of the Kickstarter experience, is letting people peek under the kimono while I work, and they can see the kind of stuff that goes on. So that whole page is full of bugs and to-do lists and whatnot. So if we want to scroll around it, and I just added the Bolt of Foon thing to it because that's really upsetting.
As long as we found it. Oh, oh.
Yes, we're happy to help
dear.
all the developers find stuff.
So you can see this is a completely different dungeon, like in all ways.
Yeah. The convenience Scrolled Warrens, which is next to you, is convenient. I mean, it's there to train early characters, but if you get bored of that, you want to run through something a little more serious, you can also... there's dungeons nearby that are more dungeony, with, rooms, hallways, doors, and so on.
Oh, interesting. I think these flippy
Perfect for when you
floppies are
roll out
actually
of your bed
broken.
at noon.
They're broken flippy floppies.
You don't know how
They
to
lost
use
their
them.
flopping and their flipping.
Yeah, they're light armor, so you would need light armor training to put those on.
Oh, I see.
I know that it's flippy floppies being too complex to put on your feet is one of the exciting vagaries of video games.
Hey, you could have webbed feet, then you're just screwed.
That's true. That's how I move so quick as a ranger.
So you asked about the stats that people have, and we went over some of them. Skills and strength are the two of the core ones. The other two are Foom, which is your ability to blow shit up. So Foom is the magic force of the world. I mean, if you want to call it arcane mana, but I mean, Foom is what it is. You're hurling fireballs and you're freezing everything.
Proof of strength.
So there's that, and then the last one is science. And science is what helps your buffs and debuffs work better. Potions work better when you have high science. Your poisons are more deadly when you have high science. So that is probably of the four, I'd call that the secondary skill. The other three are way more obvious in how they're used. But a high science will save you often when you're getting your ass kicked and you drink a potion, and it helps you way more than it would otherwise. You'll be happy you put some points in science.
Oh, maybe it was... Oh, that's interesting.
What are you trying to do?
If I click the actual ability with my mouse, then I'm able to use it. But if I just try and click like 1, it says it's probably... What am I thinking? If I press 1, it says my equipment loadout prevents me from using that power. So it might still have me as a Bannerman's, like for the shortcut key.
It's certainly possible. Do me a favor, press S if you would.
Yep, of course.
And then go to that quick step, and then when you're over it, press Shift 1. That'll put it in the 1 slot.
Oh, I see. Oh, perfect. Okay,
Try that, and now see if it works for you. When
Yep.
you just press 1. It should
Yep.
work out.
So that was probably the issue with the Fumamancer as well. Anything that can... Ow!
Squeaky Bee, I only wish to be able to own a bowling shirt and actually be able to wear it as well as Dungeonmans
cool.
there.
Thank you. Thank you. I do like this sort of shirt. I have a few. I knew I'd be on TV tonight, so I pulled it in special.
Cool. Yeah, we have our super awesome designer Average Giants t-shirts.
Yeah!
You don't!
Yeah, this is my...
I do.
You know, actually, this shirt is pretty badass, though. It's a scene from the second Aliens movie, as if it was done from a classic Final Fantasy game. I should probably...
So why didn't they actually make that game?
There we go. Why didn't they? Because no one likes me that much in life.
Because nobody liked Aliens.
That is awesome. Okay, I can see that on camera now. That's very good.
Thank you.
No, I'm just kidding. Nobody liked Alien 3.
Alien 3 was a fine movie.
What about
There's nothing
Resurrection?
wrong with Alien 3.
What about Resurrection?
That also had issues, but it was better than most movies.
What about the, what was it?
This is not a live stream about aliens and how they are the best movies that have ever been made.
What about that Alien versus Predator movie that had, like, a teen sex romp in it?
So what's neat about the
missed that
Ranger is how much range I have. I'm really
Ranger
enjoying
with
it.
range. That's a very important skill for a Ranger to
But
have.
the important part is exactly how... Oh god, I'm going to die. Yep, I'm gonna die.
Oh boy. Stick and move. Stick and move is how you win. You're Rangermans.
The power's too expensive right now. Nope.
Oh, whoops.
Bleh. Oh!
You got it?
I'm just gonna walk around this room to heal.
No, you can press R to rest until you heal up.
Oh, perfect. What was I gonna say? This character feels very unique compared to the other ones, just based off the skills he has. Is all about mobility and range. It's really cool that way. There is a lot of depth put into the gameplay mechanics of this game.
Well, thank you. That's cool to hear. I'm glad you feel that way. That's what I'm shooting for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any character in Dungeonmans is going to do well if they stay still too much. Even the fighters, like the sword and board guys, they're the most bread and butter. But they have the shield dash, which lets you charge into something and it'll not lock it down for a round.
Yeah.
So if you got somebody who's throwing arrows at you and they're running away and you want to catch them, shield dash will do that. It'll lock them into place. But the two-handed guys, I mean, they have powers that let you step forward and attack at the same time, jump into the fight. Everybody's got some stuff to shuffle them around, so it's important that whatever build you make, you pick something that lets you get in and out of trouble.
This is so cool that way. You also did that with the resources, because I'm noticing that the ranger doesn't have mana or anything, so you just use your abilities.
He just has
as you need
stamina.
to.
Yeah. Yeah, he has stamina, there's a difference between stamina and mana. Stamina usually doesn't recover during a fight,
Oh, okay.
whereas mana does. So with stamina, when you go into a fight, you want to make sure you don't blow it all too fast. But mana, if you spec for it, you can actually have mana recover during a fight. And the Necromancer is pretty cool in that when you start killing stuff as a Necromancer, you can recover stamina and mana by walking over the bodies, picking up their dead pulses. That will help you out.
Clearly, that's what I'm going to have to do. Come back to me, stamina.
So you're not resting because there's danger nearby. That's what the little text says. Meaning there's some monster somewhere knows about you.
Ooh, what do we got here?
To go bite your soft bits.
Oh, you think so? You think so?
He did think so.
Oh, he thinks
no
so
longer
even more
thinks
so.
Because you killed him.
Poof! Oh,
Think about the
backflip.
families of all these people these beings you've just murdered.
They were trying to kill me.
They're like, who is this stranger?
This is nothing but... Oh,
What
God,
the
what is
heck?
wrong with you?
I'll protect you. Oh.
Oh, I'm too tired. Need more demands. Oh!
Wow. Hey, you're surviving, though. You're resting and playing with a little bit of strategy. That's good.
You're strategizing.
Getting the hang of this. This is really fun. I'm loving this. I think you definitely made the right idea with just having more characters. Because having one person that had different abilities would probably not feel as good as this.
Uh-oh, that doesn't look very good.
Is that a bunny with tusks? The albino tusker.
Oh, the albino tusker. Do watch out.
We're going to stay right by these stairs.
Oh, he's coming at you. Look at his teeth.
You'll never get me, bunny! Ha ha! Oh, wait. I can't shoot you there.
No, he may actually get you now.
Oh.
Poof! Oh, uh-oh. Huh! Oh, God. Could I be better? I don't think so.
Is it even possible? No.
No.
You're already on top.
So,
throw thine holy hand grenade.
what kind of issues, what have been the biggest difficulties you found in making Dungeonmans?
Well, a lot of it is there's a very big personal aspect in the game. This is almost entirely my code.
Mm-hmm.
I've had support from a couple of friends in 2010 who wrote some cool things that are still in it.
Oh.
But this is the game I started learning C# with. And I made the decision in 2012 when I said, okay, I'm going to go Dungeonmans full time. Do I start from scratch and build it in like Unity, or do I finish it in XNA, which is what it's using now?
Yeah.
And XNA is what Terraria used. The whole bunch of games have used XNA, and it's kind of it's rude to call it dead, but I mean it's not really supported anymore. Microsoft has moved on to something else, and it is non-trivial to port it to other platforms, which is why there's only a PC release of this game.
Well,
Go ahead, sorry.
Well, sorry, I was just going to say that it's kind of funny, a bit of a coincidence that our next game that we're playing
is also
uses XNA. So
oh, cool. What is it?
It's called the Sun at Night.
Yes, the Sun at Night.
Oh, snap. All right. Well, good luck for that guy or team.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that works out for them, too. Because, yeah, XNA is... it's cool. It did well for what it was supposed to do, and I think it also helped a lot of people make stuff for the first time, which is neat. But, I think my next project and everyone after that is going to be in Unity or another engine that lets me go cross-platform more easily.
Interesting.
Oh, you almost got blown up. Look at you.
Yep.
That's cool.
I don't even need the flippy floppies. I back flippy floppied away from that bomb.
Why would you want broken flippy floppies?
Oh, good lord, no!
Oh, I think you're dead.
I don't have the right equipment loadout to use this.
I am assuming that you're going to be dead.
That's odd.
You should be able to use any of those powers.
That's why.
It's,
yeah. But that will use, everything. So, first off, we're going to get away.
Get
We're
away
going to
from
shoot.
guns. Ooh. Spraying the
Shoot.
blood of the innocent on the walls.
Shoot.
You're doing good. Yeah.
How much stamina does it need? 14. Ah, snap.
You can just use regular shooting. You can just shoot it.
What you need to do is you need to rip its own tusk out of its face and stab it
Oh, it
in the
needs to
throat.
be 2 away. I see.
Because that's what we do.
Yeah, we're good.
Don't let Mega Pie Man's PhD Ranger die. Needs him for his resume.
Man, it seems like the controls are not being very intuitive for you, and I'm really happy to watch this because I've seen some people play, they pick it up pretty quick, but I mean it's because they're used to roguelikes and they play with the keyboard. But the mouse needs to be better, and I can see already there's some stumbling blocks you got, which is good. I'm happy to see that. That's why early access exists, is to fix stuff like that.
I think it's just his ridiculous DPI. Ridiculous.
Oh, right.
What?
Yeah.
Ridiculous
Hardcore
DPI.
No, it's only set to 2900.
I blink and it's on the other side of the screen because I moved my finger from
It's
this
normal. God, it's make fun of average.
Dungeonmans tracks your APM, and
No!
if you're not over a certain number, monsters spawn because your APM is too low.
Yeah. Run! Oh! Well, I'll just leave you to die.
Did you just hurt yourself going by?
Nope. Phew, that was not smart by that man. That's why you need to play Bomberman smarter than that.
Yes.
To get better at RPGs, you need to play Bomberman.
Whoop. Well, I just mean he didn't place that bomb well.
Oh.
And Bomberman skills would have helped him.
Oh.
Wow, this is so interesting. I'm sorry, I'm enthralled with this game. I'm going to be playing this for hours.
I'm really happy to hear that, and I'm glad you enjoy it. And man, there's a lot of dungeons out there. This is just the beginning. This type here. There's swamps and towers and caves. I think you may not have caves in your build because they were kind of jank, and I put them on the back burner for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
You're fighting a champion now.
Since we probably
the red glow and the special name makes them a champion.
Oh no!
Pointy
Oh!
thoughts.
Oh, jeez, you're dead.
I'm done.
Oh, you
Oh,
can't
I've
go
been
anywhere?
outdone, son.
Can you not go anywhere?
Whoop.
No, you're back to the form.
Oh!
Oh, sorry.
Well, Pie Man, your PhD got further than anybody else.
Oh, by chomp guts. Okay. Well,
Chomp Goats!
yeah. You fool!
Okay.
So, in your opinion, what is the silliest name of something in this game? The silliest name you can think of that is in the game.
Let's see. So a lot of the monster names may be silly because they're drawn from a list of first and last names mixed together. So, like, there was a monster called Stinky Flaps once. And that's a little unfortunate. Stinky Flaps is. I got a funny look when that one showed from somebody who was playing. It's. I try to avoid too much silly. Clearly, the game has levity, and it doesn't take itself seriously. But there's a difference between that and being like completely off the wall, goofy. And I don't know. So for instance, when you fight orcs, they'll have orky names. They'll lots of zugzugs and stuff like that. And the bandits will have the punks all have names that are just basically like random British syllables thrown at each other, like "oi mate" and stuff like that. And mate actually spelled M8, just like how they do. So it's a bit silly, but it's not as you won't find clown butt the penis or anything like that. Like that's just not really the style.
So, word of advice for everybody: do not even bother looking for
Raising
clown butt the
mustard.
penis.
Tell me that's a Princess Bride reference right there.
What?
Raisin Mostly. He's mostly dead.
The idea is that you're a beginning necromancer and you do a shit job of making monsters, and so you make this thing that's mostly dead. It's just
not totally dead.
Blow up a dead pulse. Oh, cool.
That's a new power. Blow up dead pulse is new for this build because the necromancer didn't have any good way of fighting at range early on, which I thought was okay, but players didn't. So I said, okay. So now when your mostly is out there killing stuff for you, you can actually, when the dead pulse, you'll see a little skull that floats there, and you can choose to shoot it now with the blow up of dead pulse power, and that'll cause an explosion around it, which helps you deal damage. It's kind of like corpse explosion from Diablo, but different because it's based on the item that you pick up, which you then consume.
I liked. You know what? We're gonna go somewhere new. Krieger, Jazz Hand of
The labyrinth.
So, judging by the picture of this is like where the bad guy is in the first Conan movie. When they're
very good.
The snake god.
Very good. Two snakes facing each other. Yeah, that's you got it.
That's awesome.
You get one internet.
Yeah.
Oh boy, a whole internet.
Huzzah!
That's great. Well, both the written works of Robert E. Howard and the Conan movie both are pretty inspirations for this sort of stuff. Because they I could talk forever about that.
Yeah,
I really like Robert E. Howard's stuff. I like the way that he wrote the pulp writing of early Conan. I mean, that shit's from when the 30s, right? Yeah. So, it's still good. It still stands the test, and there's so many things in there that I think the word is purple prose, kind of overwrought. But the description from the beginning of Hour of the Dragon with casting incantations that were old when Atlantis sank. It's well, how that's awesome. He could have said old as dust or old enough to have social security numbers 1, but no, old when Atlantis sank. How long ago did Atlantis sink? So stuff like that I find entertaining, and little pieces of flavor you'll find through the game that harken to that. But really, I mean, again, it's not supposed to be super serious with a big deep backstory or anything. You just kill monsters. Even
still though, those little pieces of flavor really give it its own kind of signature style. I'm about to die.
Again?
Good lord. Another champion.
Oh, that was a quick one.
You don't want to face tank champions.
No, I didn't want to. Just right around that corner. Good old rogue.
You run. And you probably want to build him mostly up next time to have that guy face tank for you.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's tips from the devs. Pro tips right there.
Yeah, that's what we always ask. We always ask if there's anything that, any good words of advice, and 98% of the people say, don't dead.
Don't dead. Well, I mean, it's if you've played your share of roguelikes, you only get to dead once. So, better safe than sorry usually. And as you continue to play and you get better, you're going to survive longer. Make sure to bring shit back to the academy. When you find a bunch of books and proofs of strength and things, you want to bring those back. If you don't bring them back, you're missing out.
Okay. So if you die, it's not like somebody's we found this down here, might as well take it back.
Now I'm going to be playing a Frankenstein.
Frankenstein?
He's still a necromancer, but he's Krieger's necromantic creation. Krieger.
So the necromancer is supposed to be, I mean, it's unlocked for the alpha, but you would unlock it by exploring crypts and finding these books called The Terrible Secrets of Necromancy, and you bring those back to the academy, and eventually you'll unlock the ability to train as a necromancer.
Wow, that's so cool.
Somebody in the chat asks, how long is the game?
So, I don't know. I haven't clocked it in terms of hours yet. The character you've got, you can get to level 15 in this build, and that should be. I mean, a really good player could start Dungeonmans for the first time with a brand new academy and never die and get all the way to the end. Right? Great. So the ultimate goal is to get to the southeast of this world and fight the monsters, the Dread Purplonians, who are taking over with their terrible purpleness. And that part's still under construction. Like when you get out there, if you get out there in this build, you'll see the art's kind of falling apart and things aren't looking right. But that's the goal. And that will take you a while. mean, it's not like it's a really long, like 60-hour campaign full of, handcrafted plot twists and cutscenes, but there's a lot here.
And you have tons of the different characters to play with, and you can reimagine each of those characters with their different skill sets.
Yeah. Well, so here's something else that's cool. So you haven't actually beaten a boss yet.
Oh.
You haven't beaten a boss of any dungeons yet, but when you do, and you bring that stuff back to the academy, you actually unlock upgrades for future guys. So, for instance, when you beat the boss of the Scrobbled Warrens, he drops an alchemy kit that he stole, and you bring that back to the academy, and now your future characters can start with some knowledge of some of the potions already identified.
Oh, wow.
So this is the one where you want to make it about as difficult as humanly possible, because we only have 7 minutes left.
Wow, that was the fastest hour ever.
Want to be a world champion? Make everything
This
champion?
is a
World
good time.
champion.
Or you want to be a book burner and just eat everything?
No.
You're gonna eat everything.
I am the Dungeonmans. Look, it's that guy.
Dungeon man, woman, man, lady. Oh.
So I don't have any skills and masteries, but I get 5 points.
5.
Okay, yeah. If you pick the Dungeonmans, make sure you spend the points and you equip your stuff.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's terrible.
Yesterday's knife. Read the description.
It'd be the worst weapon in the game. Oh, okay, cool. So we get lots
So
of
you don't
things.
even know how to use one-handed weapons yet, right? So you
Yeah.
gotta spend a point on that.
That's why I died so quickly.
Because you played this?
I played a Dungeonmans. I didn't realize that, like,
Oh,
I
snap,
didn't know-
son.
I didn't know how to stats.
So we'll get shield and that. Advanced Crushology.
Ooh.
Yeah, so advanced crushology is pretty good. Two-handed weapons are very aggro. You're going to take more damage, but you're going to be able to fight larger groups of guys at once,
Mm-hmm.
which is the idea. So you could do that, and then I think you've got a plank with a bent nail, which is a two-handed weapon you can start with.
But I don't think
I
you can
picked the
use-
shield
I don't
one
think you can
first,
use it
so-
either.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you just pick polearm use. So you probably want to put the polearm on, and then that's your gear.
Oh, did I pick Polar? Oh, silly me.
Whoops.
Yeah. Hey, Kino, thank you for saying you dig the game. I appreciate that.
Kino, you should buy this game.
Yeah, buy it.
Go buy it.
Go buy it.
Kino.
Yes, everybody go buy the game.
That's what we call superliminal.
Would you actually mind linking the game if people want to pick it up?
I can do that.
Yeah, do you want it through the... This is a Kickstarter, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the page right now where you can purchase this early access build. If you want, I noticed there was an issue with the installer in that it doesn't provide the X and A binaries that you might need to play the game. Some people already have it. Actually, a lot of gamers already have it, but the installer needs to check anyway, which is something I'm actually going to work on tomorrow morning. So
Okay.
there is a link on the page there, though. If you do want to pick up the game, and that's awesome if you do, make sure to grab the binaries if you need them to let the game run. And all the feedback that gets sent in through the in-game feedback window goes right to my inbox. Like, actually, if you could right now just press spacebar to pull that character menu up and then go to feedback, you can see that you can write stuff and it'll show up right in my inbox. And that's how I make sure to people send their crashes in automatically. They send in what they liked or didn't like, and it helps me a great deal.
That's perfect. Yeah, because after Disney, also after you died, also you can send in feedback as well,
Yes, you can.
which is always nice for getting. Well, first of all, getting to know your audience, and then getting to know the game. So.
It has been one of the stellar parts. Like, getting to know the audience is something that I didn't really have the chance to do at a lot of bigger studios because, there's layers between you and the public, and things have to go through PR and whatnot. But man, being able to talk to people who are playing is just great. I enjoy it a lot. Hey, you threw a banner down. Good show.
Indeed. I was excited when I got the banner last time, but I didn't get the chance to use it.
That banner will patch you up. So if you're in a rough fight, you'll put that down. That'll help you out, and it'll actually stymie your foes, I think, as well.
Yep. Yeah, it gives them 20%.
Oh,
less
hey, a
chance
book.
to hit.
Did you read
And the books are cool because those are free skill points in whatever they teach.
Oh,
Unless
interesting.
you're a book burner, then you eat them.
Then you just eat them, right?
Yeah, and you made me be a book burner.
I told you you'd be a champion or book burner. You chose book burner, so that's not my fault.
Let's just double check to make sure I indeed am. Nope, fish barrels and you.
You say fish barrel?
Oh wait, did I just eat it? I think I just
You
ate
just
it.
ate it.
You just
Delicious.
No, delicious. Okay.
It's delicious. Blah!
Really?
Well, that's perfect.
That fast? Like
It is a difficult and awesome road game. There's nothing wrong with that fast.
Yeah. I guess that's true. I mean, I died faster.
Yep, that's true.
I died harder. Yep.
Well, fellas, this has been super awesome.
Yeah,
And I'm really encouraged watching you guys play and have a good time. Thank you very much.
And thank you for giving us some time in your day. I know that today was a fair bit busy for you.
It's okay. It was. This is fun. I'm glad I did it. I got to share the game with more people, and this certainly helps me. And I hope your audience enjoys it too. And
Yes.
it's good for everybody.
I hope
Yes,
everybody
definitely.
enjoys this too. And also, this will be going up on YouTube in a couple days as well.
Yeah, a couple of days.
people
So.
Okay.
that missed it
Next time
can
I
see
post
it,
an update.
and we will make sure to link a whole bunch of stuff in there. And
Yeah, I'll probably be streaming a bit of this too because this game is really fun. Really, really fun.
There you go.
So thank you so much, Jim, for being on here with us and
Yeah.
just having a blast with us.
Hey man, this was great. Laugh a minute and a good time. Thank you for the crowd for showing up. And yeah, hey, if you do stream the game, let me know. I'll tweet about it to let Dungeon fans know that there's going to be a stream. So
Yeah, sounds
That's
great.
good. So we're
Is
gonna,
it the jazz hands thing?
Jazz
'Cause I do
hands.
that a lot when I talk. I'm all like, I don't know.
Oh, that's usually me. That's usually me doing the jazz hands, and it's usually me dying, going ah.
Got it.
Yep,
Got it.
that's recorded now.
and, yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna drop out of Skype and I'll
Yep.
catch you guys later.
Sounds
All
good.
right. Thank you
Thanks
very
again,
much.
Jim.
And we are going to take a couple minutes break.
Yeah, we'll be back probably in about 3 minutes, and we're going to be showing off one of the games that I reviewed for IGM that I am so ridiculously excited about.
Yeah.
So join us soon, guys, and
Stay
we will see
tuned.
you then.
Stay here. Stay.
Where are you going?
Stay.
Okay, see you soon.